Alright, I'm the Crown Clown, and welcome back. This is What If Deku Had the Powers of Rain, Part 10. And this is going to be the last part for a while. It's not the definite finale, but this is going to be the last part of the series, unless you guys tell me to go into the manga stuff. So, I'm pretty much gonna this is a filler episode, and nothing from the manga is going to be in here, but this is going to be setting up everything going forward. So if you guys want me to go into the manga, I will. I am fully caught up, so I can go with everything in the manga. So just let me know what you guys want me to do, and I'll do it. But until the next season of the anime premieres, then I'm just gonna put this on halt unless you guys just want me to dive right into it. So where we last left off, Deku was meeting with the government over his antics he pulled with Overhaul, and Aizawa's escorting him there. But Aizawa will not be able to go into the meeting room with Deku. So, Deku enters the room with all the government agents in there, and they ask Aizawa to leave the room, which he does, and it's government officials and the hero agencies, like creators are the top brass on that. So, yeah. Anyways, they call Deku in, and they're telling him that they've seen his video, they know what he's done, and that violates all standards that the heroes function under. And they say usually this would be grounds for harsh punishment and, jail time. And Deku's like, usually, meaning that's not going to be the case this time. And the government's like, yes, that will not be the case. Instead, we have a proposition for you. And note, you are free to turn this down. But if you do, we will go ahead and try you underneath the court of law for excessive force and torture, which will all set you in jail for life. And Deku's just like, what's the offer? And so they tell him, offer is that the hero system is broken. It's too lenient. They've allowed villains to run rampant for far too long. The heroes now are too egotistical, too monetary valued, and too much of an idol in society now. They're really not doing the job they were set up to do. Because of that, we have villains that were able to, mount assaults on hero schools, be able to kidnap students, turn them into villains, strong enough to even awaken All Might with his fight against, All for One. It led him to being killed. Your teacher, Gran Torino, was murdered as well. And of course, we know your father was murdered by the same person, Katsuki Bakugo, who was a former student of yours, that it's no secret you guys shared a heated history. Obviously, Bakugo's personality traits were always more villainous and should have been put underneath a fine watch, but people commended him solely based on his quirk, which fed his ego. And then when you destroyed his ego, he developed this hatred for you, and when tempted with more power and the ability to get revenge and become the strongest, all he had to do was just kill a few people, and that swayed him over. That is no secret. We all know this to be true, and we all know that that had to have been the reason. We've found his parents. They were moved out of the country, so we cannot expedite them back since they are no longer Japanese citizens. They have become citizens of the United Nations, the United Kingdom. Therefore, we cannot expedite them back here. We found them too late and the process was already done. So, that's that. And not only that, but they haven't done anything illegal. They were captives. So, we cannot try them under any type of law. But this is where you come into play here. You've shown effective measures at dealing with criminals and dealing out the right type of punishment to get them to crack. You've made Overhaul someone who the Night Eye agency was having severe trouble with getting to talk. Police were having no luck whatsoever as well. But you made him squeal. You made him scream answers out to the heavens. That's results. Thanks to you, we figured out an asset to this country. A girl named Eri. Her quirk is able to rewind things. Meaning, if All Might were still alive, we could have rewound All Might to the point of his prime, making him so much more stronger. It would have let us take control and destroy and dismantle the villains once and for all. But, that being the case, we don't know exactly how her powers work. They're a bit unstable at the moment. So she's undergoing training at UA under heavy surveillance and security. However, villains are being more crafty now. There's more organizations, flocking to the villain's side now. Pretty soon there will be a war within this country. No, scratch that. A war around the world. One that will rage between good and evil. We need an elite squad of heroes, or should I say superpowered individuals, to combat this on a more discreet level. To make sure those high target villains are dealt with properly and disposed of. No trace. Nothing. Of course, we'll classify them as captured and give out credit to a random hero. To keep public interest and faith in the hero system. But this system is more like an elite kill squad, if you will. Kind of, just heroes by day, only so far as public image. You'll still be able to wear your costume out in public, attend UA, all that. But when a threat comes and you are given a mission by your handler, you'll be giving a discreet attire to wear and mission directives to neutralize targets of high priority value. And of course, this job does come with a paycheck. A rather large paycheck, in fact. In return, you sell your soul to us, and we grant you freedom, money, and power. And the ability to take revenge into your own hands. And of course, the ability to recruit people that you think would be best suited for a team. Although we are limiting you to a team of 4, including yourself. You have the opportunity to recruit 3 others. And of course, the agency here will pick your handler based on who is on your team. So, with that in mind, who exactly would you want on your team? Is there anyone you can think of right now that would be of asset to you? And Deku is like, I haven't even said if I was going to agree to this. And the government says, you don't have a choice. Deku said, I thought it was this or jail time. And they said, officially you would be classified as imprisoned. But no. You work for us, willingly or by force. There is no choice here. You will become our assassin. You will become our enforcer. We need a deterrent force against these animals, and with your quirk and skills, you will become our deterrent force. Willingly or not, we don't care if we have to plant a bomb in your head. We will get results, and we will get you on our side. It's only a matter of when and where and how much pain you endure along the way. I ask you again, who are you making your team? And Deku's like, look, I don't have any objections about working for you guys willingly. You're giving me unlimited access to use my quirk, the license to kill these animals, and to make sure the world's a better place. However, these same restrictions you are putting on me will not be imposed onto my team. I understand that I have to atone for what I did. That is not out of the question. But what is in question is, how will my teammates be compensated? And they say they will have every freedom to choose whether they want to or not. There will be a way out for them if they so choose. They will be required to have security clearance and as well be sworn to secrecy on this. But they will work alongside you, but you are the captain. You are the team leader here. You call the shots. The handler provides you the mission info. It's your job to make sure that your team gets the mission done at all cost. They'll be signing up for a life or death thing, which is no different if they wanted to become pro heroes. We need this squad, and we need it to be discreet. Pro heroes are out of the question for this. We already have a pro hero, and he's the one that trained one of the villains. We are dealing with him as we speak. Do not make us deal with you the same way. And Deku asks, who is it? And they say it's Hawks. He trained Katsuki Bako, gave him that strategic mind of his. And he will be punished for that indefinitely. And Deku's like, okay, I have one person in mind already, and if you give me time, I can pretty much guarantee you I can have two others by the time the first mission rolls around. And Deku says, but they need guaranteed protection, immunity against all laws that could be filed against them. Even if it's required to be a public execution on your orders, we need them to be protected. Which means, if I get caught, you have every right to take me off the books. But in exchange, all three of my teammates will be given exact immunity over everything. Agreed? They say, agreed. And so Jackie's like, alright. First person I have in mind is Denki Kaminari. I've known him since middle school. I've helped train him, and he's been given training from Endeavor. He'd be a valuable asset along with his, electric-based quirk. He can jam enemy signals so they won't be able to call for backup, which will allow us to move more stealthily in and eliminate the targets. And the government agrees that Denki Kaminari should be looked at as an ample candidate. They say, give us another idea. Denki says, Shoto Todoroki. And they're like, oh, that is an interesting choice. But he's a bit too spotlight heavy. It'd be unwise to bring him into this. And Deku's like, look, you wanted another candidate. There it is. Like, it'd be a workaround, but doable. Alright. 2 others. Just in case, because we're not too panned on Todoroki. Deku's like, that's all I got for right now. Who's my handler? And they say your handler should be simple. You came here with him today. He's already acting as your handler. He's the reason why we guaranteed you this job and didn't immediately take you by force and just program you to work for us. And Deku looks at them and he's like, treat me like a dog and I'll kill you all. Don't think I won't. I may be agreeing to work with you, but that doesn't mean I'll take every little insult lying down. You may think you have power, but you don't know what true power is. Remember, you've turned me into an assassin now. Who's to say I won't get an order to kill all of you? And they ask Deku if that's a threat. Deku says, sure, why not? Take it however you want. But know this. I always make good on my word. Disregard our deal in any way, shape, or form. I'll kill you all without even thinking twice about it. That's a promise, not a threat. And Deku leaves. And Aizawa sees him and Deku's like, you fucking lied to me. And Aizawa's like, it was the only way. And Deku's like, no, it wasn't the only fucking way. And now you're making me drag my best friend into this fucking world too. You fucking lied to me, Aizawa. I won't forget that. My fucking handler? What type of bullshit is that? And Aizawa tells Deku, listen, it was either going to be me or someone else. Someone a lot less discreet. Someone who would want nothing more than to put you in the ground. Deku's looking at his robotic arm, thinking, part of me's already in the ground. Hell, my fucking soul is already dead. What more do I have to lose? But my friend? Someone who I consider my brother? You're making me drag him into this. Kaminari should not have been brought into this at all. But I need him. I need him to help me on this. Gosh damn it, I fucking curse you. I curse you and this entire fucking government set up bullshit. And Deku storms off. Literally storms off. Like, he causes an immense fucking storm to hit and just teleports off. And Aizawa's sitting there with the storm raging, the rain pouring down heavy and the lightning cracking, just like, fuck. And there was a government official listening in on that conversation, and they're already taking notes on Deku's abilities and his potential weaknesses. Because they're not about to let Deku have all his power and have no safety measures against stopping him or controlling him whatsoever. And Aizawa, he knows that's the case. He's already been briefed on that. That's why he agreed to adopt Deku and to even become his handler. Deku's in a real tough spot now. Because everything he does is going to have more than just a couple sets of eyes on him. He has the entire government and hero agency on his ass now. And he just made Deku their number one killer. And of course, Deku, he meets up with Kendo, and Kendo's asking him, you know, you seem to be different lately. Because they're in Deku's room right now. Man, Deku's just like, a lot of shit going on right now. He's working out, lifting his dumbbells, while Kendo's just on the bed in her crop top and shorts. And she's like, yeah, I know. But hey, if you're ever stressed, there's ways to release it other than just force. And Deku's looking at her like, oh, you offering? And Kendo's just like, whoa, I don't think we're... And Deku's just like, then don't bring it up. If you're not going to offer it, then don't bring it up. When you're ready, we'll do it, but until then... And Kendo just gets kind of embarrassed and just like, fine, let's do it. Deku's like, you for real? Kendo's like, yeah, I'm fine with it. Let's do it. Hopefully you'll start thinking clearly now. And Deku's like, shit, didn't really expect that from you. Kendo gets off the bed. She wraps her arms around Deku. She's putting herself against his back and grabbing his chest, rubbing her hands up and down it, feeling all the crevices of his muscles and every scar that he's got, feeling the robotic arm, how different it feels, how foreign. And she asks Deku, can you feel anything with that arm? Deku turns back, he looks at her, he touches her with it, and he's like, no, I can't feel a thing, but I can imagine what you feel like. And Kendo's kind of sad about that, but Deku puts his hand underneath her chin, lifts her head up, and is like, hey, don't worry about it. Small price to pay for absolutely destroying that asshole's organization. I hear that he got what he deserved after that. And Kendo's just like, look, you've gotten a lot darker. Like, a lot darker. I need to know that you're still the man I fell in love with. And Deku tells her, of course I am. I still want to make this world a better place. But the way I'm going about it now might be a bit different. But the overall objective is still the same. But the way I'm doing it, I can guarantee no one gets hurt again. These animals don't get back up. I promise you, nothing will happen to you. On my life, I can guarantee that. And she says, well, what about your life? Have you ever stopped to consider what price you have to pay for this? For that dream? Because the way it seems like that dream and what we have right now, I don't think the two of those can coexist. Sooner or later, you're going to have to pick one thing or the other. And Deku pulls her close and he says, and I'd pick you every time. You're the one good thing left in my life. And Kendo's just like, okay. Deku kisses her and just starts caressing her cheek, hand through her hair, rubbing her body. Takes off her crop top and, she's not wearing a bra under there, so her tits just, flop down, and Deku just kisses her, kisses down her body. Deku, he's already shirtless, so Kendo's just like rubbing his body. Deku pushes her onto the bed. Kendo undoes his pants, And, she starts giving Deku some head. Deku's just enjoying himself for the first time in a while. You know, Kendo, she's enjoying it as well. Even though it's her first time, she's a bit inexperienced, but, Deku's teaching her some things, because, let's face it, Deku's already known about this type of shit. But, Deku's just, massaging her back, slips it in and just starts going to town, just like clapping them fucking cheeks. And Kendo, she's like moaning loud. Everyone in the whole dormitory can hear what they're doing. They know what's going on. All the girls' faces are going red, and Minetta's just, even Minetta can hear it over in fucking 2B, like 1B. The whole school can hear Kendo at this point because Deku's just like giving it to her, and she's loud as fuck. So, yeah, Deku's pretty fucking good at his job in this. After they finish, they're just laying there, and Deku's actually tearing up a little bit because that's the first nicest thing that's ever really happened in his life. And Deku's not normally the type that would cry out of this, but just the feeling of it was really nice to him. Finally feel something good in his life that happened. That actually means a lot to Deku. And he doesn't want to let that go. Because that's the one good thing that's happening in his life is Kendo. And Deku knows if he loses any more, he's going to cross a line that can never be uncrossed. Man, Urage, she heard all that, and she's like, fuck, he's all hers now. But, she calls up Ida, and Ida's actually in recovery right now. But what's been happening with Ida is Ida got this experimental surgery to put cybernetics into his spine to connect the nerves again so he could walk. And it was a success. Ida is going to be able to walk again, but he's going to need a lot of extensive time to recover. And physical therapy to make sure it takes and it holds. So, Ida's going to be in physical therapy for a good while yet. But he will eventually make his return. Kaminari, he gets a text, and it's from Deku. Kendo's sleeping now, so Deku kind of just uses this opportunity as a time to slip out and talk to Kaminari about what he's going to need him for. Kaminari goes over to meet Deku up on the roof, and they're sitting up there on the roof, and Deku's just like, there's no easy way to say this, man. He's like, what, Kenda's pregnant? And I'm gonna be, an uncle? Deku's like, what? No. Where'd you get that idea? He's like, dude, the entire school could hear her screaming. Her moans were echoing like a motherfucker. And Deku's like, she that loud? It's like, dude, she nearly broke all the fucking windows. Deku's just like, damn. Okay, but no. This is serious, man. He's like, yeah, I know. It's serious if you got her pregnant. And Kaminari's just trying to joke around because he can feel what Deku's gonna try and ask him. Before Deku can say another word, Kaminari's like, look. I know you're in some trouble, man. I can see it on your face. I'm think I know you well enough by now, after all the years we've been together as friends, brothers. I know that look in your face, man. And you should already know. We're brothers. I'll go to hell and back for you, dude. I've stood by your side no matter what, even after what you did to Overhaul. And from what I heard at that meeting, that motherfucker deserved it. Every last fucking ounce of pain. He deserved it. Deku asked him, how would you feel about taking the next step in cleaning up crime? Kaminari's like, if you're asking me to kill people with you, you know we'd be playing with fire, right? Deku's like, actually, it'd be sanctioned. Legal, as long as we don't get caught by the public. Kaminari's like, did you just become a government dog? Did you fucking sell out? And Deku's like, I didn't have a choice. It was either willingly, or I would have had to kill everyone in that fucking government room to get away. Kaminari's like, who else have you asked? And I said, no one. It's just gonna be you for right now. I was thinking about asking Todoroki. He's like, don't bring Todoroki into this. He has too much to lose. He has his mother in the hospital. That's a big weak spot for him. His siblings, another big weak spot. Me, I have my parents, man. But I can't leave you out to dry. I know you're risking Kendo on this. I'd be risking my parents and potentially Jiro. God, if anything happened to her, man, I would be right there with you in that same position. I would have tortured the motherfucker to get the intel I needed. I feel your pain. Bakugo, I want to kill him for what he did to your dad. For what he's turned you into. For what they're trying to turn you into. You're not a killer, Deku. You're not. Deku tells him, I don't have a choice anymore. If I have to be a killer, then so be it. I'll be a killer. But there's one thing you should know. And he's like, what? Deku tells him, I've been given a kill on sight order for Bakugo. No bringing him in, no questions asked, just kill on sight. Kaminari's like, look, if our class knows about that, they're gonna hunt you down. They won't stop until you're brought to justice for that. Bakugo is still their friend to them. It's not something that's gonna be easy for them to deal with. And Deku tells them, it's something they're gonna have to get over now. He's a criminal. He killed All Might, Gran Torino, two of the most influential heroes out there. He killed the number one fucking hero, dude. No way anyone can defend him after that. But look, I need you on this. I can't do this by myself. I need someone to anchor me. Someone to make sure I don't lose who I am. I don't want to be the person that Kendo's scared to be around. I need you to anchor my humanity as my brother. Please. Kaminari's like, fine. I agree. I'll become a villain with you. And Deku's like, wait, we're not villains. He's like, Kaminari's like, look, we might as well be villains after this. Because look, man. There's not a way out of this. There is no way out of this where we aren't fucked in the end. It should just be me and you. Just let it be me and you, and we're good. No one else. Just an army of two. And Deku's like, fine. It'll just be me and you. It's time to go report to the fucking handler they gave me. I'm like, handler? Who's your handler? And Deku says, our teacher. Aizawa, my adopted dad. He's my handler. Your handler now too? Come on, I say, man, how far are they willing to fuck you over on this? How far are they gonna fuck me over on this? And Deku's like, look, I made it abundantly clear you will always have a way out of this. I won't. That's the payoff. But we're gonna be getting some serious money off this too. So when this is all said and done, promise me, no matter what happens, promise you won't forget me. And promise you won't make the same mistakes I did. Because at this point, there's no going back for me. You can still turn your back on this. Whenever things get too heated, you will have a way out. I assured that. Not me. This only ends one way for me. It ends with me in the ground, marked with nothing more than a tombstone. That's going to be my end. Not yours. I won't let it. And Kaminari tells him, I won't let that be your fate either. You watch my back, I watch yours. Alright? Deku's like, alright. And Deku has no intention of letting Kaminari fall victim to this shit. Like, he's going along with it, and he knows Kaminari's like not fully on board with this. And the only reason Kaminari is even signing up is just to anchor Deku down and make sure Deku doesn't end up dead after this is over. So they head back in, and Jiro heard everything. She jacked into the wall and listened in on the conversation, and she's in tears. Like, she literally is so mad at Deku right now for even thinking about dragging Kaminari into this, and she's pissed at Kaminari for even agreeing to the madness. And Aizawa is right there, and he runs into her, and he sees those two, and he's like, you heard everything they talked about, didn't you? Jiro's like, how could you? How could you put your own student into a position like that? Why? I'm trying to protect him. Damn it, he's my son now. I'm trying to keep him alive. They wanted him executed, damn it. I couldn't allow that. So I made a counter offer. I don't care if he hates me. He's too fucking talented to go down like that. I'm not gonna let him die like some dog. He deserves better than that. I don't care if he ever knows that or not. But I'm not letting him become some damn mutt to them. He deserves a happier ending than that. And Jiro agrees. They both do. Aizawa says, look, I'm not going to say anything about this, but just please keep this under wraps and don't tell Kendo. Whatever you do, don't tell Kendo. I don't need Deku under any more stress than he already is, so please, don't. Jiro says okay, as she goes back into the dorm, and I was always there, alone, looking up into the night sky, feeling guilt, shame, and regret all at once. But that's where I'm going to leave it off for right now. So, if you guys want me to go ahead and jump into the manga stuff, drop a comment down below, let me know. And of course, as always, if you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys later.